everyone. Today's task is about connecting with a young leader or an entrepreneur and learning from their journey, understanding their background, the challenges they faced, and leadership lessons that we can take from their experience. When I first saw this task, I started thinking about people in my locality who really made something meaningful out of their passion. And one person who suddenly came into my mind was Apsara, a young and passionate home baker from Sivakasi. She runs her own baking page on Instagram called Baking Bliss by Apsara. You can even check out her page. When I reached out to her, she was actually out of station and also a little camera shy. So instead of recording her directly, I had a detailed phone conversation with her where she shared her story, how she started the business, what challenges she faced, and what she learned along the way of her business experience. And I will be sharing her journey and lessons here from my perspective based on what I learned from our talk with her. And honestly, her story really inspired me. It reminded me that leadership isn't always about holding big positions or managing a big team. Sometimes it's just about leading your own dreams with consistency, courage, and creativity and making an impact on people's lives. So, Apsara told me that she completed her undergraduate degree in computer science engineering at Link Engineering College and then went on to do her post-graduation in human resource management. So, her baking journey started quite unexpectedly during the lockdown. She said one day her cousins made some muffins for family dinner and they were so tasty that she got so curious and asked for the recipe. A few days later, she decided to try it herself at home. And to her surprise, it was so delicious. She shared that moment with so much excitement, like how her family's reaction and the positive feedback that she got, which made her so confident and happy in herself. She even sent a few muffins to her cousins and they loved them too. That small encouragement gave her the motivation to explore baking more further. Slowly, what started as just trying out a recipe turned out into a serious interest into baking. She began experimenting, learning, and improving every time she baked something new in her home. And that's how Baking Bliss by Apsara officially came to life. Listening to her story made me realize how something very simple like trying a new hobby can grow into something truly beautiful when you put your heart into it and create it into a business. So when I asked Apsara about her challenges in the business, she was very open and genuine to share it with me. She said that biggest struggles in the beginning were pricing and marketing. Since she was very new to baking, she didn't know how to fix the right price for her products, like how to balance the cost of ingredients, packaging, and the time spent into making it. She also mentioned that initially very few people knew about her baking, and it took so much time for her to get noticed and for her brand to grow more. There were moments when she felt unsure or even discouraged, especially when sales got very slow and low, but she told me that every small order and every piece of advice helped her learn and grow more in her business. Her friends and family encouraged her a lot, and that pushed her to keep on going even when it's tough to continue. What really stood out to me as her attitude, she didn't complain about how difficult it is to manage everything, but instead she focused on improving herself and her business. She said something like, "Each order teaches me something new to explore and to improve on." And that really stuck with me because leadership isn't about having everything perfect at all times. It's about learning as you go, taking risks, and believing what you're doing even when things aren't easy to do. From our conversation, Apsara shared some meaningful leadership lessons that she learned through her business journey. The first one she mentioned was communication and confidence. She said, when you're running your own business, you have to be confident and communicate with your customers, explaining the value of what you're offering to them and giving them the trust that your product is worth their money. The second one was about accepting feedbacks, both positive and negative feedbacks. She said that she don't take negative comments more personally, instead she uses them to improve her business more effectively. For example, if a customer gives a suggestion, she'll try to make it more better the next time. And that's something really inspired me because it's not always easy to hear criticism and take it and do it accordingly. But she sees it as an opportunity to grow her business, and that's exactly what leadership looks like, being open to change and for improvement to your business. Another point she mentioned was consistency. She said in any business, it's not easy about starting strong but staying consistent, maintaining quality, being reliable, and constantly finding ways to do it more better. So, hearing her talk about this made me think there are qualities that every good leader should have. Whether you're running a business, managing people, or even working on yourself, confidence, adaptability, and consistency are what makes you truly strong in whatever the fields that you're working on. So, when I asked her if she had any advice for MBA students like us, she said something so simple yet very powerful. She said, being confident in your work, set your goals more clearly, and always be ready to learn more new skills. I really love that line because it applies to everything that we do, not just business. We often wait for the perfect time or the perfect plan, but real growth starts when we take small steps and learn along the way. Apsara also mentioned how important it is to never stop learning. Even though she studied computer science and HR, she stepped into baking, a completely different field, just because she enjoyed it and was ready to learn something new from the experience. Even though Apsara couldn't appear in the video, I'm genuinely happy that I got the chance to talk with her and hear her story. It was truly inspiring. Her journey reminded me that leadership isn't always about managing a big team or having huge goals. Sometimes it's just about quiet effort of doing what you love, which is called passion, improving yourself, and staying consistent through all the challenges that you face. What I learned from her is that success doesn't come overnight. It comes through patience, practice, and passion. And the best part is her journey started with something so small, a single batch of muffins, and today she's running her own business, building trust with customers, and inspiring others in her own way. To me, she represents the kind of young leader who leads by example through hard work, honesty, and heart. Thank you so much for watching. And once again, if you'd like to see her amazing work, do check out her Instagram page, Baking Bliss by Apsara. You'll definitely be inspired by what she's created.